Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from Cord Cutter News. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So, a few of you have still messaged me saying that the home internet usage and growth is still a concern for you on T-Mobile because of fears of how the wireless network is going to perform in the future. Now, I will say this. T-Mobile is, by history, very good at loading up its network. They're very good at selling it. And that has translated over to the fixed wireless access product. They are very good and intelligent about how they attack the market, and they have been very good at selling it. And they have been very good at selling it in bunches. They got a lot of OEMs on board. They have several different router units in rotation, and they're adding more by the quarters. They're adding more, and they continue adding 500,000 customers per quarter. And that's what it's going to take for them to get to their 7 to 8 million target by 2025. Now, looking at it from an overall statistic, at the 7 to 8 million, T-Mobile is still in the single digits. So they're still capturing a very small percentage of the home broadband market. But as you can see by this article, they continue to gobble up usage every month. 450 gigs on average. That's likely going to increase as time goes on. And as they load up more customers, that average usage is probably going to be 550 here very soon. Won't take that long. Now, a few things that I have to add on. I still think there is headroom for T-Mobile. They still have C-band and DoD in the tank, in the vault to deploy. They still have backhaul increases to make. There's still small cells that are scheduled to be deployed. So from that perspective, I don't think the wireless network is going to crash instantly, but they will have to implement a lot of remedies to continue keeping both networks above water, right? Because you got to look at it from both sides. You got to keep the wireless network running smooth, and you still prioritize the wireless customer, but yet you still have to make sure that you don't let churn get out of control on your fixed wireless access product, right? I think the churn is more finicky on that product because a wireless customer, the churn is there too, but the wireless customer, if they experience buffering here and there, they're not going to be too concerned about it. They get to another area, it starts working, or they say, I'll just wait till I get home on the Wi-Fi network and I'll be able to load it there. With fixed wireless access, you don't have that alternative. It's stationary. Like if your content is constantly buffering, eventually it's going to get on the nerves of that consumer and they're going to start looking elsewhere. So you have to make sure as well that you in some ways, shape or form prioritize that product to keep it running as smooth as possible for the household. So you don't let churn get out of control. I suspect that if we compare churn to wireless and fixed wireless in due time, if they don't really prioritize that product, if they don't, eventually they're going to implement the network slicing. They're going to move it all to the standalone core. That's inevitable. But if you don't really focus on that, bring all the features to it, like port forwarding, open NAT type, eventually, you're going to start experiencing higher churn on that product than you will on wireless as you grow to the 7 to 8 million. You're going to get churn. Yes, they recently said that the churn is maturing as they get further along in time, but that product is very finicky. As you add more users, right, on both, because while you're adding fixed wireless access customers to a given neighborhood, you're still growing your wireless footprint too. So that will bring down speeds. And I have seen people not complaining, but pointing out like, hey, my speeds are a lot slower than they were a year ago or even 2 years ago. So that's noticeable, right? They have a ton of usage now in 5G. More people are upgrading to newer phones that are 5G capable. And more people in the neighborhood are latching onto the sector for fixed wireless access as well. T-Mobile is selling it very smartly. I recently saw a marketing commercial for 5G home internet in Spanish. So they're going after the, Hispanic markets now too with fixed wireless access. So it's going to be interesting to follow this and see how much more data is gobbled up on a monthly basis. I can see this easily getting to 600-700 gigs a month on average, easily. Right, especially if it's a big household, multiple TVs, multiple laptops, who knows what else, cameras, security, whatever, right? As that gets added onto that router and it pulls from that sector, that's a ton of usage going through those pipes. Is the wireless customer protected in that sense? Yes, because they're prioritized. So even if that tower gets very low on speed, the wireless customer still gets most of the speed. But T-Mobile will have to at some point pivot and make sure they keep up with congestion. It's going to come. So at that point, T-Mobile is going to be at a crossroads. Do they let the customer churn because they filled up the extra capacity? Or do they at that point then come up with a capital model to invest specifically in fixed wireless access? Keep in mind, right now, T-Mobile is not investing extra capital outside of what they're spending on the wireless network for fixed wireless access. So if you have experienced a slowdown, if you're experiencing slowdown enough to where you start noticing buffering during peak hours, I will suggest immediately turn that product in, because you're not going to get a solution to your problem. You're going to call tech support. Tech support is going to get back with you from the local engineers, and they're just going to tell you between this hour and this hour, the tower is 90% used up. That's the only response you're going to get. You are not going to get a technician sent to your house to fix anything because there's nothing to fix. And you're not going to all of a sudden magically get a small cell in your neighborhood for offloading for that product. It ain't happening. So make sure you choose wisely. Make sure you test. Make sure you look how it's progressing over the years. And if it still meets your needs, keep it. If it doesn't, get rid of it. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. I look forward to reading your guys' comments. Make sure you stay tuned for more content. Like, share, subscribe. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.